Some things are hard to explain until it's actually put right in front of you. Case in point, one young man from Fort Worth has made it his mission to raise interest in the sport of blind soccer, a sport that has allowed him to keep dreaming big, and he hopes it does the same for others as well.
What an absolute...
Right pose. Center.
Nice.
As Fort Worth's Ricky Castaneda lines up the ball, he thinks about all the times he has and will kick to the curb any notions that he'll be limited in this lifetime.
I'm glad I went through it, and it's worth it. It's worth the blindness is worth my freedom of living my dream.
A dream that did not seem possible when at the age of 14, he completely lost his vision due to a rare genetic disorder. The same disorder that caused Ricky's mom, Maria, to go completely blind a year after she brought him into this world.
I could not imagine that my son would have the same eye vision that I did. It's not easy. It's stress, but I pulled through it because I had to be there for him.
The tattoo on Ricky's back is a tribute to all the adult figures who taught him at an early age, specifically his mother and his grandmother, that the world was still his to conquer if he kept moving forward and did not look back.
Asking why is it's like going through it again. It's like, why would you want to stick on something when it's already happened?
Mm-hmm.
The only thing Ricky has gotten stuck on is the sport of soccer from the very first time he walked onto the field. But that begs the question, how does a completely blind person play soccer?
First thing people think about is just a bunch of individuals running around crashing into each other.
Yeah, it might look like that, but I mean, we're organized humans also, just like any organized sport. We understand strategy, we understand movements, we understand sound, most of all.
First, there's the sound of the ball.
The beads inside give us a location of sound.
There's also assistance in knowing where the goal is, and the location is shouted from the vantage point of the blind player to their left or right, not the left or right of the person standing in the goal.
Left pose. Right pose. Center.
Then there's the matter of knowing where the other players are in relation to one another, on offense and defense. There's a universal term in blind soccer that adheres to everyone.
Voy, 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 voy.
The word voy in Spanish means I'm coming.
Voy, voy.
And it's a way of saying I'm closing in on you.
It gives the player a chance to react, right? He might be too focused on the ball. We have to have that sound and get a good sense of where that person is.
Blind soccer has been a Paralympic sport since 2004. It's played in 60 countries and is the fastest growing Paralympic sport in the world.
What an absolute belter. In off the underside of the bar. But no goalkeeper going to save that.
In a real game, the position players are all blindfolded because there's a wide spectrum of visual impairment, and it equals out the playing field. Each team has a spotter with full vision behind the net who cannot enter the field to play. There, they instruct the offense how to attack and where to shoot.
What a goal by Jefinho!
The goalies have full vision because they tell their defenders how to stop the other offense. As an ambassador for the United States Association of Blind Athletes, Ricky's job is to help make sure the U.S. has a team when the Paralympic Games come to L.A. in 2028. His team here in DFW, the Metro Blaze, it's a nice start. And he also attends countless clinics around the country teaching the game and spreading awareness.
We're charging ahead, and we have more people behind us, and we're making our army of blind soccer. And by 2028, we'll be ready for L.A.
Hopefully they'll love it just as much as us, but it's out there, and it's just a matter of time till more blind people find it and get to experience it.
You see, soccer is merely the catalyst for Ricky Castaneda to provide others inspiration who often feel shut out of society by their disabilities.
You can't just keep living with that regret, because it's not your fault. It might be due to something else, and now it might be something great. It can still be something great. It's still life.
It's still life. Ricky is not just saying that, he really means it. He told me a lot of people think when something has been taken away, such as their vision, that it has to define them, but it's the ability to adapt and overcome, and he hopes he motivates others to do the same.
It's really impressive to see how they've managed to problem solve. I mean, and that goes to show you what a little creativity can do, and that no matter your disability, there's a way around it.
And the guy said to me, simply put, you know, where everyone looks at us as, how do they do that? They're blind. He said, you just learn, as you said, to adapt. You brush your teeth. You learn how to put the toothpaste on your toothbrush. You move on. You wash your face. You move on. You make your phone calls. You move on. You get in lifts and Ubers to get to your practices. It is doable. Everything in life is doable.
Such a good reminder, Keith. A good story there.